What's going on, guys? It's kind of a somber day based on the events going on in Boston, but these are things we're gonna have to expect. Unfortunately, majority of people are pretty asleep along the lines of terrorism, especially lately with all the different things with the Second Amendment attacks, and on our freedoms, and all the politics that have been going on. People who want to do harm to this country are still within the midst, and you got to be aware. You got to keep yourself alert, and you kind of got to look for things like people wearing like inappropriate clothing. Let's say springtime where it's kind of warm out and they've got kind of heavy jacket on. That's something that kind of will be a sign of something to look for. Other stuff you have to look for is generally someone who's about to commit one of these attacks. They tend to have kind of a robotic way about them where they walk kind of odd. It's many different types of reasons. Just the stress involved in what they're about to do. In some instances of suicide bombers, they actually are high. They're actually on heroin leading up to the actual bombing. So it's just something to keep in mind. You're going to notice like irritability and sweating, and they might have some particular odd nervous kind of tick because they know they're going to die, and this is in the range of suicide bombing. But I'm sure, you can also run into the same situation where you have someone with a bag and they're going to keep having their hands in the bag and looking around nervously. Those are certain things you want to kind of keep an eye on. When a person is reacting differently than what the scenario is calling for. Everyone's watching, let's say, the race here in Boston, but here's this other person kind of looking around and is completely out of place with the people's function of what everyone's there to do, to watch the race, but he's doing everything but watching the race. These are things, and I'll attach I have a situational awareness video that I did, and if those of you who haven't seen it, I'll put that below. I didn't go into everything, all the different things that you should look at, but these are just some ideas to run through your mind and just kind of practice being aware of. Also, generally, they're going to have a pretty sizable bag because it requires, for the larger explosives, a lot of times they need a battery to initiate the explosion. So it's going to require a pretty good sized bag or duffel bag or carry bag, like a book bag type bag. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to kind of throw this information out there. I don't know. I've never really seen anybody talk about this before. Another thing, their breathing. A lot of times, let's say you're on a bus and someone's about to do this, a lot of times they'll be, you can actually observe them trying to control their breathing and really slow and steady breaths because they're just getting ready to do what they're about to do because they know they're going to die. They know it's going to happen. So and they're thinking about the pain they might feel. They're just trying to concentrate and make sure that they execute their mission correctly, despite the situation and the dangers to themselves, knowing, especially if it's a suicide bombing type scenario. With what left of freedoms this country has, we're pretty susceptible to this type of attacks. So I'm surprised it's taken this long. Thank God it wasn't on a train. The amount of damage. On the situational awareness video, you're going to notice an explosion on a train, and that was the bombing in Spain, and that was on the eves of their election. which actually influenced their election in the direction that the terrorists wanted. They dictated that the reason why this bombing happened is they want them to elect this particular person and not the other person, and otherwise more bombings will ensue. And the people actually voted the way the terrorists wanted. It's the world we live in. It's not the best thing to have to think about, but it's something that you should definitely keep in mind. Also below, I'm going to put links to why I prep and the Ryan Mauro series. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend you take the time just to get some extra knowledge on the Muslim Brotherhood, and just I think it will help. And because all you're going to be seeing on the news now is this constant same story over and over again, and it's better to learn about the people behind this and learn about what you can do to better your odds if you're within that type of situation where you're near someone or you see something. You can act and react to the situation rather than being a victim. But that's it. Mojopin 12 out, and check out the links below the videos, and hopefully they help you guys. If you've already seen them, or if they're ones that you particularly get a lot out of, definitely share them and send them out. I mean, my channel has never been about like making money, even though I've had people mention I should monetize everything. My whole point is to get information out there that you might not necessarily have, and I have certain people that you know, that deal with our radical Islam. Ryan Mauro being one of them. He's the youngest political analyst in the country on radical Islam, and he's a good, competent source. So I highly recommend you watch these videos. Also, make note, I don't know if I mentioned it in the video already, I'm like really tired. This is a long day at work, but it's always a long day at work. Tomorrow's Israel's Independence Day, so I don't know if this has any type of correlation, but anyway, that's it. Do your best, let God do the rest. I hope the videos below will help you guys, and that's it.